Good day, mate. Critical thinkers should be aware, certain goofballs among you will use examples by NASA. Little cartoons such as this, to imagine themselves, here for example observing a hypothetical 11 a.m. sun, on the morning of the March equinox, and then exactly 6 months later, that same observation, is only, ever possible, on the morning of the September equinox, only now, the goofball is on the wrong side of the sun, in complete bloody darkness.
No, you not understanding that doesn't change things. Yes.
This is Brian Brown, reporting for AVO, with a compilation for the year 2023. The real, side-by-side equinoxes 21st of March and 22nd of September. The only 2 days of the whole year, when our sun may be observed to rise from the very same point.
No!
Yes!
The following is a serious observation, using webcam footage to show how the sun actually appears, in the far south, island of Tasmania.
According to NASA's narrative, a solstice is the day when the sun is at its highest, or lowest point in the sky. The summer solstice signals the beginning of summer, and the winter solstice signals the beginning of winter. Perhaps most importantly though, the solstices mark the longest and shortest day of the year. Overlapping these individual videos from TAS images, screenshots compiled from a permanent camera installation 1,271 meters above sea level, facing east from Kanani, Mount Wellington, overlooking Hobart City, Tasmania, Australia. The equator is thus between these two overlaid time lapses. An equinox is one of 2 days in the year when the sun crosses the equator, and day and night become equal in length. The vernal equinox marks the beginning of astronomical spring, while the autumnal equinox marks the beginning of autumn. This video will concentrate specifically on the equinox, and this permanently mounted camera is stable and reliable. Its resolution quality allows reasonable enlargement to show the exact point of daybreak, noted here, with colored reticules placed over 2 videos taken 6 months apart. It becomes apparent when 2 layers of 50% reduced opacity may easily be aligned using any unchanged topographical feature in the foreground. 2 similar clear mornings with slightly different cloud obstructions, and the 2 observations might assume the sun is traveling directly over Earth's equator, noted by the equinox on this apparent horizon. Now, running the 2 examples side by side, you will note an internal lens apparition here. The reflection appears near identical in both frames. Is this a reliable indication? Considering carefully the original video links, this footage was recorded independently by the same camera. Its position is fixed to the angle and position of the sun it captured.
Any idea what causes it?
Time or speed is verified by an evident close foreground shadow passing the camera installation. It was limited by hazy clouds on the 21st of March. Again, see original links. Here a fast visual synchronization of this faint example times with the same 22nd of September. It may be noted, there is a time discrepancy of approximately 90 minutes, that is to say, from suns up, to casting the same angles of shadows. Let's avoid an argument and round it down to 1 hour, of time, or speed.
No, you not understanding that doesn't change things. Yes.
Please note the continuous camera screen counters, and one might assume, reasonably tamper-proof, under the control of the Hobart City camera facility. Coincidentally, TAS images began both of these videos fairly close to 4 a.m. Although 6 months apart, and as for any individual length of screenshot variation, I have merely loaded the original links, side by side calibrated to start at 4 a.m. and finish at their 8 p.m. timestamps respectively. One might also assume 2 counters finishing close to the same number values to mean the same passage of time. Even so, there remains an unusual lagging of time in the September footage. I invite you to pause this footage and compare the time counters at any point. Replay the areas of special interest, arrows indicating shadows. Please explain how to. Equinoxes rise 6 months apart. The sun is assumed to be traveling along an imaginary line known as the equator, and yet it starts off with wild fluctuations in speed. It casts the same shadow. Daylight saving might account for 1 whole hour in September, but there's over 2 hours lag in other parts. Cast aside the cartoon ball for 1 moment and ask yourself, did the sun, earth or time just move? For the goofballs among you, UTC Universal Time Correction won't save a goofball now. You have just observed the same 2 paths of our sun at equinox, from Tasmania. That is to say, it arose from the same point on the horizon in Tasmania. So, which? May we assume, Tasmania or the sun, appears to be traveling at variable speeds on the same track, and we all know, which, needs to follow an imaginary ball crack called the
Equator.
And the truth shall set you free. And the truth shall set you free. And the truth shall set you free.
Does the goofball need a 32-hour day, or is the Earth just standing still, in all of NASA's bloody darkness?
Well, the sun's starting to come up.
My son, the astronaut.
Could you pay me in advance?
Oh, look, frost.
Because we don't have good refrigeration.
It's actually on the floor. So once you're inside, you just can't tell.